Well said, Madam Secretary. And I've worn out my voice, Mr. Speaker, over the course of the last 5 weeks all across my district, from Lake Erie to Lake Michigan, from Detroit to Grand Rapids, from South Bend to Toledo, Ohio. Getting the message out, the Republicans did what we needed to do to keep this country moving forward. We were willing to negotiate on everything and anything, but do it in a way that doesn't have a punitive impact upon the citizens we are so privileged to serve. And Madam Secretary, we're looking forward to Workforce Pell being initiated and getting more people trained for the workforce for the jobs that we need. And this stutter that's gone on now for 35 days doesn't help us get it up and running well as a result of the One Big Beautiful Bill and what we've done there and many other things for education and the workforce. It's now been over a month since Democrats shut down the government, and the American people are feeling the impacts. Workers and families don't know when they'll receive their next paycheck. Service members and men and women who keep us safe may not be able to feed their families. Air traffic controllers are working double shifts along with TSA that I greeted last night and thanked for working without a paycheck in sight. These are proud Americans who are working hard to keep our communities running, and the Democrats are making sure they won't get paid. The Democrats are making sure they won't get paid. Did I make that clear? We've tried to do that all across the media networks in Michigan, and I think it's working. Similarly, businesses across the country are facing mounting uncertainty. Groups like the Job Creators Network and National Restaurant Association are raising the alarm about millions of workers and businesses at risk of closing because of the shutdown. And according to the American Hotel and Lodging Association, the economy loses $31 million per day from lost hotel revenues. Virtually every sector of our economy is hurting because of this foolhardy Democrat shutdown. And since the start of the shutdown, more than 4,800 small businesses have been unable to access the Small Business Administration loans. I've sat with some of those businesses. I've heard their concerns. I've heard their desires to expand their business, but they can't get the applications filled out, further restricting businesses' ability to grow, potentially forcing others to close permanently. What's more, this shutdown has disrupted the data that drives the economy. Jobs, prices, paychecks, the data that guides it all has stopped flowing, and that is hurting workers, families, and job creators. In my home state of Michigan, we're losing more than $360 million in economic activity every week, week upon week. That means every week workers, job creators, and communities lose out on chances to thrive as families struggle to put food on the table. But Democrats don't seem to mind. We've all heard House Democrat Whip Catherine Clark's interview describing the suffering of families as leverage to remote health care to illegal aliens. And then there's the Senate Democrat leader, Chuck Schumer, in his comment that every day gets better for us. How cruel, how unfeeling, how uncaring. Clearly, the Democrats are so wrapped up in DC politics, they've forgotten what really matters, helping the Americans thrive. Now, labor unions, as the speaker pointed out, who overwhelmingly supported Democrat politicians and left-wing causes, are calling for Democrats to vote for the House Republican passed clean continuing resolution. We passed it. We funded government. We didn't shut it down. The American Federation of Government Employees, Steamfitters Local 638, Teamsters, and pilots unions are calling for the government to reopen because livelihoods are being crushed. Our nation's children are being impacted too, and I'm concerned about that. Some Head Start programs, some of those small little seats that I've sat in, hearing about what good work is done for these families and kids. Head Start programs, because of the Democrat unfunding of them, will not receive federal grants despite being the only option for many low-income families. That will lead to disruptions that will force families to go without child care as programs face dwindling funds or go without funding entirety. We funded it in the House. The Senate Democrats need to do the same. If the COVID-19 pandemic taught us anything, it's how bad any disruption to a child's life can be. Long-term school closures exacerbated learning loss and caused skyrocketing truancy. How long do the Democrats need to keep our government shut down before they see the real harm they're doing to Americans' children? The Democrat government shutdown has gone on far, far too long. And the longer it lasts, the worse things get for the American people. This is the first time in history, if you might be reminded, the first time in history a political party has shut down the government over a clean CR. The Democrat petty partisanship is hurting workers and families across the country. The shutdown is also showing Americans just how far the Democrats will go to promote their out-of-touch agenda, even if it means holding the American people hostage for more than a month. America's workers, families, unions, and job creators have all spoken. Chuck Schumer, pass the clean CR and reopen the government immediately. I hope the Democrats are listening, at least 5 of them. Republicans have listened and voted to fully fund the government, coming on 15 times as of today. It's time for 5 more Democrats, including my 2 members from Michigan, to vote the same way. For the children, as Nancy Pelosi has famously said. Do it for the children. Do it for Americans. I now am pleased to turn over the podium to a great leader, Leader Scalise.